So WWE Crown Jewel 2025 was one of those shows that kind of crept up on you like, just a B pay-per-view or a BPLE, whichever word we're using. And by the end of it, at least from my vantage point, I was like, well, that was absolutely terrific and gave us a few moments we could talk about forever. Won't be forever. That'd be really boring. Given how social media works, it will probably be maximum 48 hours. Hello, my friends. I am Simon the Bald A-Hole. Welcome to Ups and Downs, the only wrestling review show you need, where we do give the good bits an up and the bad bits a down. And thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. There's a link down there. Hello, link. That's a stupid thing to do. NordVPN.com/WhatCulture, where you can get yourself a big old deal. You can get an extension on your subscription, and that means it basically works out at less than $3 a month. I'm just saying, you do have a VPN, maybe you can avoid certain things that you need to do to watch wrestling, and then use other certain things that you need to watch wrestling that may save you some money. I don't know. I'm quite clearly an idiot. Let's up those downs. Also, quickly, just want to shout out Clash of the Comics, which was ridiculously the show I did from the Hammersmith Apollo last Wednesday in front of 3,500 people, which was a bunch of UK comics taking on a bunch of wrestlers. And obviously, I was one of the wrestlers. Now, if you live outside the UK and Ireland, you can watch this at clashofthecomics.live, I think for the next 2 days or something like that. But do not worry, my UK friends, because this is going to air on the channel You and Dave, I believe it's called, in November or December. That's been signed. So I just want to say thank you to them. I had the time of my life, and there'll be a stupid picture on the screen right now. And talking about stupid, or at least unexpected things, Roman Reigns just got pinned for only the second time in the 2010s. Not 2010s, I meant 2020s. Somebody may not have gone to sleep. That would be me. But it was Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed, an Australian street fight. And I don't know why any of us doubted Bronson Reed, because as Paul Heyman told us, oh man, this dude is undefeated in Australian street fights. I don't know why Paul Heyman became Australian, but I actually think this is one of the biggest things that WWE has done in ages, and it all comes down to what we have with the Vision, because when Seth Rollins did form this group, everybody was like, oh, that Bron Breakker, he's going to main event WrestleMania one day, whereas Bronson Reed, we all love him, he's super duper good, but he's the guy that can take pins. Well, now that we've done this, I'm sorry, we should push him to the moon as well. And why wouldn't you do that? You shouldn't just push one dude. You shouldn't just push two dudes. If you can, you should push 42,789 dudes, because then when the likes of CM Punk, and Becky Lynch, and Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes do go away, well, you have a bunch of other people you can choose to fill the slots. Of course, they used all the weapons as always. There was tables, there was chairs, there was kendo sticks, and there was cricket bats, because of course we're in Australia, and Australians like cricket. That's it. That's as far as it goes. The question is, who put the cricket bat under the ring? Or are we meant to think because Aussies do enjoy that sport, cricket bats just walk around? If that's true, I need more information about that, because it makes no sense. Really, it was all the story stuff we threw in here as well, because Roman Reigns was about to murk Bronson Reed when Bron Breakker teleported in and just speared him out of his boots, when here came the Usos. Now, of course, right away, we were like, no, Jimmy and Jay. Roman Reigns told you not to do this, and after they had got in a big fight with the Vision, that's right, a table was set up in the corner, and Bronson Reed was probably going to kill Roman Reigns, I presume. Jay Uso was like, I must save you, my tribal chief. Bronson got out of the way, Jay speared Roman Reigns through the wood, which allowed Bron Breakker to do his thing. Bronson hit the tsunami, and he got the 1, 2, 3. I genuinely couldn't believe this. Not in my wildest dreams in 2025 did I think Bronson Reed was going to beat Roman Reigns, but I thought it was totally awesome. Especially because afterwards, Roman told off the Usos, like, what'd you do that for? What'd you do that for? I don't want to see you till Christmas. This only works if we actually get the victory at the end. Although really, this is a situation of his making, because he gaslit and manipulated these dudes to the point that even in 2025, they're trying to do his bidding. However, once Roman had left and had his hissy fit, Jay also had a little bit of a wobbly, and he said to Jimmy Uso, you know what? Why is it always about him? I can't do this anymore. So all of this is so damn interesting, because we have to capitalize on this with Bronson Reed. And in terms of Jey Uso, well, I have no idea what his current direction is, but WWE keeps throwing in all these caveats. Well, I'm very excited. It was absolutely going to get an up, and you see people on social media going, oh man, what if it doesn't work out with Bronson Reed? Well, you have to try. Again, there's so much wrestling news that if it did all go bad, we've forgotten about this in 6 months anyway. But now, we may have something, especially with the Vision, because again, WWE pushes Bron Breakker, Seth Rollins is Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman is Paul Heyman, but now Bronson Reed, he's just climbed that ladder too. I'm giving it an up, and in many ways, it set the scene for this entire pay-per-view, and it plugged you right in. whatever that means. It was Tiffany Stratton versus Stephanie Vaquer after this for the Crown Jewel Championship, and I'm going to take that and go boop and kick it over there because it doesn't really mean anything. This was just more of an outlier, I suppose, because Tiffany really wanted to win and Stephanie really wanted to win, so they fought, they had a decent, good wrestling match, and Stephanie Vaquer then won. Oh my gosh, I was so happy. Not everything needs to be twists and turns and surprises and moments. Sometimes it really can be, I want to fight you, well, I want to fight you back. I think it may have been Tiffany Stratton's best main roster performance too. It's Stephanie Vaquer. Her stock is so high right now, you should have invested in her about a year ago. But also, I actually think this gives more for Tiffany to do on SmackDown, because it is her first loss, or pinfall loss, of 2025. So somebody should come out and go, oh, hey, I've got your number. And as for Vaquer, she got called up, she won the Raw Women's Championship, and now she just won the Crown Jewel Championship, and she's looking really damn good. We should find a super duper whooper mega heel and make sure we get her a big old feud. Now, it should be Asuka, but given what happened later, I'm not sure what's going to happen here. And also the finish. Tiffany goes for her PME. She misses. Dun, dun, dun. There's your mistake. When Stephanie Vaquer hit that super wiggly top rope move she does, it looks damn good, and she got the 1, 2, 3. That's how the commentators sold it too. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Well, they were also acting like Stephanie Vaquer had debuted yesterday, like, oh, there's no tape that Tiffany Stratton could possibly watch. That was a bit much, but I appreciate the story they were trying to tell. I also don't think this was too short at all. That's another, not criticism, but point that I saw. I think it was the perfect length, because if they had gone longer, maybe we wouldn't have felt about it the way that we do. So it's somewhat of a paradox, but I'm absolutely giving it an up. Again, Tiffany Stratton used this as a platform, so should Stephanie Vaquer. It was just a well-fought wrestling match. And admittedly, I wasn't a massive fan of the build. I thought they could have had more promo time, but I don't want to get into the small things here. In terms of what they did on this night, couple of thumbs. When we absolutely got to the highlight of the night, and I'll be honest with you, had no idea what AJ Styles and John Cena had planned. I thought maybe they would just do a traditional match, whatever that means. But because they are such two huge superstars and two of the GOATs, they would get away with it. Well, they did take that idea, but they did not do a normal match. They did a goofy wrestling for life match. This was utterly preposterous, and in terms of where we are in the year so far, well, it may have been the best match of 2025. Now, it started great anyway, because every single person in this arena, I swear, was wearing John Cena merchandise, so he probably just made a bomb. And after we had Cena's big introduction, apparently John had written one for AJ Styles that Aj knew nothing about, and we read that out. It was all about the Bullet Club, it was all about TNA. AJ Styles was there wearing his TNA gear, and I was just like, well, this is utterly redonkulous, but it set the scene. And it basically went, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, we're about to give you something, and man, sign me up and give this to me every single week. And essentially what they did is they tied into the whole John Cena's going to hit moves that paid tribute to some of the feuds he has done, but they took it to such an absurd degree. Like, this is where the catchphrase comes from. It made me feel warm and fuzzy in my tum-tum. I laughed out loud 3 times during this because I thought it was so wonderful. And I'm going to forget all the people, but we had the Bray Wyatt Sister Abigail that you should absolutely go and watch because everyone does the Fireflies, and you see John Cena had a moment. But there was also the Big Show, there was also the Undertaker, we hit a flipping tombstone. At one point, John Cena became Randy Orton. It wasn't just hitting his moves, he got possessed. And that was ridiculous in the best possible way. But then AJ Styles had Sting, he had Christopher Daniels, he had Frankie Kazarian, he had Samoa Joe. I'm probably forgetting other people there too. They were just hitting each other with other people's moves, and somehow it flowed, there was a thread, and there was just some kind of connection here. Now I'm saying stupid stuff, hence why I'm doing dumb things with my hands. And I cannot believe, and I'm going out on a limb here, and I'm probably going to sound ridiculous, even if you hate the concept, and even if you hate John Cena, and even if you hate AJ Styles, I would be so surprised if somebody could watch this for the, 20 minutes it was on and not like it just a little bit, because it's the feelings that it put out there. You could tell they were going Cyndi Lauper and they just wanted you to have fun and remind you why they were so great together to begin with. They also never left the ring, which is something they did in their original feud back in 2016. And I would just implore you, wait till you're in a good mood. Don't go in there as a cynical Sally. Wait till you're feeling nice in your Tootsie Toes and sit down and check this out. And I think you'll have a whale of a time. And yes, it ended when John Cena hit a Tombstone AA combo. I will say, the finisher problem in WWE is out of control. And if this was any other match, I would give it a down. But when I enjoy something to this degree, again, I'm taking the small things, the nerd things, and I'm going to throw it out the window, and we'll get back to it on the next show. It doesn't just get an up, it gets a golden up. It really could be my favorite WWE match of 2025. I'll have to think about it. That main event of WrestleMania Night 2 between Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Bianca Belair would be in the conversation as well. But this is a golden up match if I ever saw one, honestly, man. And don't you tell me this wasn't goofy wrestling for life. It just means you don't know what goofy wrestling for life means and you think it's negative. But really, goofy wrestling for life is the most positive force on this planet. Everybody was freaked out after this as well because it was all, oh, how is Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus the Kabuki Warriors going to follow this? Well, one, Rhea Ripley is super over in Australia and she's a megastar in her own right. But also, Asuka and Io Sky were in there for a long old time. And they were like, should we do some of the best in-ring work that WWE has seen all year? And they agreed. They are so damn good. Kairi Sane is brilliant. Rhea Ripley does not get the credit she deserves. Like, she really is the complete WWE main eventer, right? She ticks all of their boxes. But there was just one point when Io Sky did this drop kick right into Asuka's face. And I thought at the very least Asuka was going to lose her lips. I mean, she just absolutely whammed her. And Kairi Sane sort of seemed conflicted here, but was also screwing Io Sky over at every single turn. And the whole point of this match was a big hot tag to Rhea Ripley. Although at one point the Kabuki Warriors were about to be murked at the end, and it was Kairi that pushed Asuka out the way to safety. And that's when she got riptided and when Io Sky hit the moonsault for the Uno Dos Tres. So I was like, well, maybe like Kairi Sane has got Stockholm Syndrome and she's in love with Asuka, or maybe the love is real, but she just also loves Io Sky too. Now, I'm confused about the ending. We're going to wait to see what happens on Raw, because why would Asuka and Kairi Sane go super duper whooper heel and then now lose 2 matches? But maybe there's something to this, and of course, it's easy to justify. In Australia, the Australians love Rhea Ripley. Why wouldn't you just give them what they wanted, right? We can all be geeks and go, me, and booking, but ultimately, you had 13,000 people in a building who wanted to cheer the nightmare. Just let them cheer. I'm not 100% sure if anybody here does go after the Women's Championship too. Again, I'd like to see Stephanie Vaquer versus Asuka, because the matches would be so damn good. But once again, you have to give it an up. They went out there, and it wasn't even like a decent tag team match. It was a super good tag team match, because these are 4 damn good workers who also have all the, WWE tiddly bits, whatever that means. But you know, it's not like they're faceless warriors, especially Asuka. She's like a crazy personality person now. This is the stupid thing I'm ever saying in my life. It's getting it up. It's a great match. You should go and watch this one too. Which means we were going to main event with Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins for the Crown Jewel Championship, with the story that Seth Rollins had walked away during the press conference when he came back tonight. He wanted to be serious. He wasn't going to have anything to do with the vision. Paul Heyman had said earlier in the night, no, Bronson, Reed, and Brum Breaker. No matter what happens, you must not help Seth, because we need to know if he's the leader we believe him to be. So, that's right, Cody out-wrestled him. Seth Rollins had a hissy fit on the floor, and he broke the Prime hydration station, which made me laugh, because every single Australian in that building went yes. It was just some of the combos and some of the maneuvers they did in this that were absolutely excellent. Like, I think it was a Cody cutter that Seth Rollins turned into a powerbomb. He was doing coast-to-coast headbutts, which were totally nuts, and we even saw an avalanche crossroads that only got a 1-2. This is where I am going to throw my only down in, because the crossroads especially isn't even a finishing move anymore. It's just a move that Cody does at some point to finish matches. I just think it's something that WWE needs to address. Like, it's not a big deal. It's not going to make me stop watching wrestling. But if you're hitting a crossroads from the top rope, I think that should probably be the thing to beat anybody. Otherwise, if you ever did beat somebody with one, that dude is going to look like a chump. But here I am going to sort of push it aside a little bit, because the match was really good. And this idea that Seth Rollins had to beat Cody Rhodes by any means necessary, well, that's what he was doing, which is why eventually he went out the ring and he got the watch that Cody had given for his WrestleMania 40 help. They wasn't able to use it at first because the referee got in the way, but of course then the referee got knocked down when, yes, Seth was like, well, listen, I'm definitely going to do it now. He thumped Cody Rhodes right in the face when he hit the super stomp and he got the 1-2-3. And afterwards he cut this promo and he's like, I'm the best in the world and nobody helped me. And I actually thought there was something to this. Of course he had cheated. You're not meant to use outside weaponry. But there was no Bronson Reed. There was no Bron Breakker. There was no Paul Heyman. Even if he had been deceptive, he had been deceptive on his own path. And he didn't need any assistance. So there was just something to his bite and something to his words. I was like, there's something to this Seth Rollins thing. And I like it a lot. Now, once again, there was a small part of me that thought he should have come out in normal clothes to sell the fact that he was having a breakdown but I'm not going to let that bug me either. Once again, in terms of the match, it reminded me why Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins are at the top of the main event scene, because they're so damn good, especially what WWE is trying to achieve. And it didn't matter, Cody Rhodes lost here. I actually like the fact there was no shenanigans, and it just ended with somebody doing a promo. I go back to what I said earlier. Not everything needs to be surprises, shocks, twists, and moments. The funniest part is as soon as Seth Rollins had cut his promo, Stephanie Vaquer was just next to him. So where did she come from? But I am going to give it an up. I actually think it's going to make Seth Rollins' story better on Raw, because he can maybe double down on what the vision is meant to be, or potentially be pissed off on them. Maybe this is when Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton finally fall out after around about 10 years. Although apparently it's going to be a Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu thing. But either way, don't necessarily think Cody Rhodes needs to win his next match either. There may be something in that, but yes, the match gets an up. The pay-per-view overall gets an up. I really did think it was very good, although I do have one last down, because it did take away from the show all the damn adverts and all the damn commercials. And now the Netflix Be Right Back sting has been thrown in there too, because I guess that's how the ESPN app works as well. If WWE could just shrink these down and have a bit more pace between the matches, this would have been a super duper show. As it was still absolutely great and you should watch it. You do kind of get a bit frustrated at times, like, come on, let's go. Why is nothing happening? But yes, I am going to give it an up, and again, if you want a recommendation, you should check this out. It really is a lot of fun from start to finish, and you can fast forward all those bits today, so that will work out for you as well. However, you may have different thoughts to me, so drop me a comment below before you like the video, share the video, and subscribe. SmackDown ups and downs on the screen right now. That was a good show too. Maybe we have turned the corner. Otherwise, my friends, have a delicious day. Massive regret saying that. Goodbye.